Hey everyone, how are you? This is your girl, Miss Roberts with True. I know y'all been seeing me jump on the pod every now and then, and that's because if my husband ain't calling me, the children, mom, grandparents, cousins, family, friends, they all just want to make sure that your girl, Miss Roberts, is doing well and healthy and all that good stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This been taking a real big toll on me. Like, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. Like, I'm starting to feel the drainage in my body now. I didn't feel it like that at first. Like they said, the first couple of weeks, you're not going to really notice any like fatigue, as being fatigued. But now I'm feeling it. Like, who get excited? But it's me, yay! I'm getting excited. Okay, guys. So what I have today topic is about different types of cancers, and the reason why I have that topic described up that way because I want us to kind of like educate each other, learn each other different types, and not only different types, the symptoms and stuff like that. They also have another one for cancer patients called Belong. It's called Belong, and it's for like all cancer patients, like any type, like what I'm doing now. And it's kind of like a board that you can pretty much talk to someone when you feeling like down or you feel unheard, or you can kind of like engage. It's kind of like a social type of event, but you can engage with someone, and that's what we all need. As a cancer patient, you want to have that accessibility where someone, your voice is heard or is being listened to, or you just feel important. You still feel like you're important to someone. Okay, so the cancer that I have, which is so funny, doctors, certain ones are so funny. I might have to get a second opinion that I want to do, that I talked over with my husband, that I really want to do. Now, my radiology oncology doctor, right? I spoke, I see him every Wednesday, for these 30 days. Today is day 19 since I got my treatment. Woohoo! Let me go ahead and put my cheer up for that. Let's clap. So, since I made it to day 19, I have a few more to go now out of this month, and then the next following month they supposed to look at it to do a scan to see if it progressed, meaning that if it had started spreading, or if it's in a position that where they want it to be at, to where it's stable. And the only problem that I have with the doctor, when I asked him, I said that now when I read on it on my reports, it tells me um superficial fibromatosis, and it had extra external, it had a whole lot of different wordings that they all had put in there. And now, of course, me, Miss Roberts, Nicole, I'm gonna do my research. I'm always a resortable type person. So I like to make sure what you're telling me, especially dealing with my body, especially a healthy young lady that's all she do is exercise. She's a go-getter. She just, joyful, happy moments and stuff like that. So what I did was I did my research on it. And when it's aggressive, that leads to cancerous. Now, what they thought I had was just a regular benign, I guess. It's, they had called it demise. It's a demise type tumor, is what he stated that it is. And it's in one of those so called category fills. But when I had got admitted on the 16th, when they did the biopsy, the doctor surgeon had seen me. He said it was sarcoma. He just didn't know what type of sarcoma. And when you look at this demise aggressive, that leads to a sarcoma. It's part of the sarcoma family. So, my understanding when I did my research on everything that I had got, because my cancer's in my abdominal wall area. That's where mine's at. They did also put that extra abdominal type. They put all those words, extra abdominal. And I think I see intra abdominal on there as well. But anyway, it's in my abdominal right side lower back wall. And when I read up on it, I did my research on all of it. Sarcoma has 50, was it 57 or 70 some types? 70. Sarcoma subtypes is 70. There are 70 different subtypes with sarcomas. Now, when I read all of those subtypes of sarcomas and read where I fit in those categories, I think is Leomoya or Leomay sarcoma, Leomaya sarcoma. I'm gonna spell it because I don't think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm not a doctor. I don't know those big words of doctor terminology. I can get close to what it's trying to say, but I'm not sure if I'm still pronouncing it right the way that it is. So I looked it up, and it had the development, like the area what it kind of like happened at. So when it comes to that type of sub disease, that's more in the abdomen area and the pelvic. So it develops in the muscles of the organs in the pelvis and the abdomen area. And that's kind of like where my area is in my muscles. Like all my condition is in my muscle, nerves, and tissues, like nerves, tension, and all that. That's part is soft tissue. Is what they had said I had. They said it was a soft tissue, but what it is, they don't know. I still feel they don't know what type, which part of that I fall in, because I guess I got a lot of different antibiotic, as he told me today, flaring up, as he say, and still couldn't explain it to me. I said, what antibiotics flaring up? Like, what do you mean flaring up? What's flaring up? And I think I was agitating him a little bit due to the fact that he wanted to say he had other patients, but I'm a patient too. So I just felt like I told him, I said, why every time I ask you a question or ask you something, I feel like you rushing me. I said, I don't like that. And I had to let him know. He said, it's not that. I just have other patients. I understand, but I'm a patient as well. So I just didn't feel like my my concerns were important enough for him. So that's where I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to find another radiologist and go from there. At least one closer to where we live at this time. At least when I get superficially tired, I won't be too far this time, because I'm waiting for the surgeon, Mr. Delafante, Sebastian Delafante. When I say I give all the props, the most up respect for him and his staff, let me give him a cheer for that. And when I say they took care of me so well the day of my surgery, I was very stunned. I was happy. I was scared, of course, when I went in, but I'm talking about I was happy as I came out, to know that, okay, I'm still here and I'm still here. So when they did the surgery and everything, I was very scared, for my life, because that was a real major surgery that I had to go up under. That ain't like getting your tubes tied or something like that. And then you go from there. One moment, guys. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning back in with me. I'm sorry for that. Had to take a quick break. All right. So I wish someone get on here and talk about they type cancers or text it or share it. But with the soft tissue part of it, um, soft tissue sarcomas is a rare type of cancer that begins in the tissues that connect, support, and surround other body structures. This includes muscles, fat, blood vessels, nerve, tendons, and the line of your joints. And when I say I feel the muscle, the nerves, the tendons, and the fat is what you see, that all that weight that's on my body, and the swollenness. I get all that from that. But I wanted to let you know, like, my diagnosis of what they said, my situation. Now, sarcoma can occur anywhere in the body now, guys. It doesn't matter. It can come in your leg, your dominant area. It can just be anywhere for soft tissue. It's two types of soft tissues now, but it's a lot of sarcoma types, that falls up under the soft tissue types. And the type of treatment that they say that they recommend is surgical removal is the common treatment. And although radiation and chemo may be recommended depending on the size, now, and the size, the type, location, and aggressiveness of the tumor. Now, the one that they took out, if I'm not mistaken, I know I probably won't have that much time. I don't want to be on my podcast that long, talking about the same thing. But they took out 9.5 centimeters of me, and then I think they took out another five. Because one, they didn't see, it was external. They had to go deep. It was deep. The one I think they had that was deep was the 9.5 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to probably wait till I'm settled, meaning that I'm always on the go, guys. I don't know how to cope. I don't know how to be still. And I think that's where it's going to hurt me the most, of learning how to be still, how to cope, because I'm always stern, I'm always strong up. And now I'm in my weakness, and I really try to keep a lot of stuff to myself, because sometimes I guess I feel like don't nobody have my best interest at heart, and I know I shouldn't feel that way when I shouldn't. But again, it's life. And then now I got to get my breasts checked out and done as well, because they think I might have a malignancy in my left breast, from what they mentioned about the breast part. So I'm waiting for the doctor appointment for that one, because the findings that they stated on my breast part was, let's go there real quick. The finding on my right breast, 9 o'clock, 5 centimeters from the nipple, and there is an abnormal intramammary lymph node, and additional normal intramammary, or intramammary, and I might be saying that stuff wrong, guys. Lymph node is seen in the 6 o'clock axil, 3 centimeters of the nipple. Now, in the right breast, 12 o'clock retral region of the ovary, I guess that's the circle part. I guess it say it was measuring 6 centimeters, and in the left breast, um, the left breast, it say 6 o'clock. It was 3 centimeters of the nipple, and it say there is. I'm gonna spell this, guys. Like I said, these big words. I think it say indistant hyperotic area, but I'm gonna spell it hyperechoic area, measuring 5 centimeters. This may represent a fatty replaced lymph node, and it say in the left breast region there is an ovary hyperchronic mass ADJACENT masses. I guess it's pronounced as adjust. Ugh, guys, y'all gotta excuse me. I kind of know this, but it's like I'm getting tongue twisted as I'm reading. Masses with 1.3 centimeters, and it's a fatty replacement lymph node in the left axle. So they want to make sure, because from what they saying, that it might represent fibromatosis versus other probable benign mass, incompletely evaluated as per the recommended follow-up. So this is kind of like what they thinking that I have in my breast. Now, guys, think about this. All these different things coming up in my body. Like I said, God got a plan. God have his purpose and his reason. But I just wanted to give you some information about my types of cancer, my cancer situation, and the experiences that I'm experiencing with my situation. Okay? And sometimes, most people need someone to talk to and listen to. Now, I'm going to send all my information on my type of cancer. Like, these are the signs that you will notice. Now, I'm going to send this over. These are the symptoms. So just in case you have a loved one that have this situation, make sure they go get seen. Make sure immediately so they can catch it early. The more they catch it early, the better you'll become. And these are the early stages. So if this is an early stage from what this is telling me, then I had got mine caught in the early stages, which everything is said on here. That's what happened to me. Like the noticeable lump, it was in the middle of my back. I didn't see the lump. I didn't even feel it. But my husband did. He said, like, you got a tumor right there. I said, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. He said, maybe yes, you do. You might want to get that checked out. Now, you might want to make an appointment if you feel like the lump has an increase. It did increase in size and it started becoming painful. That's how mine did. It was it was already paining, right? But I didn't think of it as cancer. I was thinking the pain like you need to sit down, you be on your feet too much, doing too much, you working too much, you this, you that, and this. So I was thinking all the opposites of everything besides what is really wrong with me. And then it was just a surprise when I went in to the fact that now I have cancer. And as my cousin had asked me, he said, how did it happen? Like, how did I notice that or something like that? So I'm going to get into details of how I noticed that with you all. And then I'm going to leave some valuable information of what I know, the survival rate, all of that stuff will be listed in the chat for you. Just in case you have a loved one and all that stuff, you can kind of like catch it, educate them, sooner than later. And they can, start their journey, but their journey will be caught and they ain't got to worry about, all the craziness behind it. But what had happened was that, okay, I guess it been happening for a while. I remember when I stayed in San Antonio, Texas, when we lived there, excuse me. The back of my right side head, it did used to ache a lot, like off and on, like slightly made me feel like I had headaches. So I thought maybe my headaches was due to the fact that I'm always on my feet. I'm never resting, just doing too much. That's just me thinking, well, maybe it's because I'm doing too much. I'm working. I'm trying to work here, there, and there. So that's what I was thinking. So as my head was hurting in the back, my body, it wasn't my back too much as of yet, but my body, it was always paining on the right side. It just felt like I could never sleep on the right side of my body. Like my whole right side was so unpredictable to whereas that it was non-tolerant to where I can sleep, I can even really lean on that side and all that good stuff. So I kept thinking like, okay, maybe I kept thinking it was the weight. I never thought, like I said, I never thought of no cancer. I thought it was just the weight on my body. I thought it was just me doing too much. And then I exercised and I kept being out of breath. Never felt I was always shortness of breath. Now keep in mind, they also said I'm iron deficiency, mild anemia. I'm gonna also put that information in there as well. But when I kept being out of breath, everything I do, I had to stop. No, I didn't have to stop as much as I did now, but I was like, I guess it was a little bit more controllable then. But when I raised up, I had to stop. Like I had to pause for a second or I might pass out because either I'm moving too fast. I was always thinking I was moving too fast or I was just doing too much. But the worst part, it started getting worse. Okay, when we moved back home, that's when it really started, I guess, getting worse. It was already getting worse at first because it was already uncomfortable. It was intolerant to deal with. So when we got here, back home in Florida, I it was the same thing, but this time I wasn't able to sleep in the middle of my back, even with a heat pad. Because I used to be able to sleep on a heat pad because I used to think the heating pad would help. Maybe that's why. But I still wasn't able to sleep on my side or on my back. And it was just hurting even more just to even touch it now. Now, just to even touch it, it was hurting. And I was like, I kept saying, I said, baby, I think something wrong. Something just ain't right. And then now my head was starting to hurt. My whole right side of my head, it was starting to really hurt. And then the nerves on my neck, all the way from my head to my neck to my right side of my arm, starting to hurt. My legs was hurting. Actually, you know what? That is a coinkydink because in my legs, they did used to hurt, especially when I came on my period. When I used to come on my period, it did used to hurt. But now when I come on my period, I gotta ask my husband. I don't think I have say nothing about my leg hurt no more. So that been probably going on for quite some time. And then when they moved the nerve, when they did the biopsy on me, oh, let me finish that before I jump to the hospital. So when I couldn't really sleep like that, and I was telling my husband, they said, "You want to go to the hospital?" I said, "No." I said, "When it get too bad, then we can go." So I had a 10 in my head that day. I told him. I took a pain pill. I took my cannabis pill. I took all that, and I was like, "That this something ain't right. And ain't nothing helping. Something ain't right." And I said, "I'm just gonna wait." I said, I told my husband if it doesn't, work out tonight, we'll just go tomorrow. So my husband wasn't at home, so he left because I guess at that moment he probably felt that I was fine. And that moment I did too. I got up, I took a shower, I put on my little gym active clothes. Our baby boy was at home, but he was like, no, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was asleep or what, but I just know he was at home. So my husband left and did what he did, and I just said, let me just go out here and do some little walking. So I wanted to walk. I'm always an exercise person. I like walking, trying to strengthen my legs more. When I say guys, I barely made it. Now, if anybody that's familiar with Claremont, Hooks, and Hook Street and 27, Highway 27, and all that, where the what's over there? Where the Wawa at and the little plaza look like a little mall, but not a mall. But where the plaza, where the Burlington and all the no, not the Burlington, the Ross at. So I'm walking towards Arby's that way. But I was calling myself walking the long way to exercise all the way around to Wawa, which is Hook Street, and Hooks all the way back to Citrus Tower. But I didn't make it that far. So as I was walking to Arby's, I didn't even make it to Arby's yet. I made it just to the tree. I was shocked. I barely made it from the house to the tree, but I kept pushing myself. I said, well, maybe I had my little water bag. I said, well, maybe I just need a drink of water. So by the time I got to the tree, I was getting even more tired. I said, Dad, what this, what, what could possibly go wrong? I'm laughing at myself, talking to myself. And I do that a lot, guys, because I'm also mood order bipolar as well. So I'm sitting up here just talking to myself, saying that what could possibly happen for me to sit here and go through what I'm going through. So okay, I just kept walking. I'm drinking my little water, walking with my little shades on and stuff like that. So I walked to Arby's. I was stopping like 5 seconds. It wasn't even a minute. Every second I'm stopping. And I said, wait a minute. Every second. So I said, okay. I just kept walking. I said, every second. Okay. Every second. It might not be as bad. Every second. Every second. So I'm walking every second. I went into orbit. I said, well, maybe I need to eat. So that's why I said, guys, when you think outside the box, you're not really thinking. You thinking is this and it might not be that. I'm thinking I might have to eat. Didn't have to eat, but I ate. So when I ate, because I was always feeling nauseous too, guys. So just so you know, this ain't new of me feeling sick. I was already feeling sick anyway. I was always having this nauseous feeling. But again, I'm gonna say I thought it was nothing. I thought maybe because lack of sleep, lack of resting. I'm thinking all these things of why I'm going through what I'm going through. So I couldn't tolerate it. I sat there. I started back walking. Lady and her husband say they loved in my hoodie. I got this hoodie from TRUU. And if anybody don't know about TRUU is a cannabis medical store. And they was giving it away for free for the grand opening over here in Claremont. So I had on my sweater. They was, cheering on my sweater. So I'm walking and I'm still walking like you might say 2 seconds. I'm walking 2 seconds every about a minute. I'm walking in seconds. So I asked God. I said, Father God, I say, I don't know what's going on, but Father God, but if you just allow me to make it home. I said, please just let me make it home. If nothing else, can I make it home? So God, He made sure I made it home. He walked with me. He molded me to go home. God, let me tell you something. It's a church. It's called The River, and it's right here by us. And where the mall is at is not too far from the river. It's the street. I can't. I'm not sure that street is not Stevens. I can't think. It started with an E. If I'm, I don't know if it started with an E, but I think it started with an E over there at the street where the church at, where the river is located at. So, but I'm going the back way of the church where they park at. What I guess it's kind of like because they had like I think it's I'm not sure if it's a daycare center or a daycare center or a private school, like one of those type schools. But I walked it through that way, so I cut it through because the apartments that we used to stay in was right next door from the church. So you can cut through the apartments to the church. So again, I'm walking through, cutting through the church to get home. I'm stopping. Now keep in mind I'm stopping. And I think of it like when you're trying to inhale, exhale for 1 second. You walk. You walk. That's me. I'm walking. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta breathe. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, Father God, please make sure I make it home. Okay, that's how I'm breathing, getting home. So I'm telling y'all exactly how it were, so you can kind of picture that. So I'm standing, I'm breathing, I'm trying to catch my breath, and I have real bad anxiety attacks. So I'm trying to catch it, I'm trying to breathe, I'm trying to think a different way. So I won't think like, oh my God, start panicking. So I say, Father God, please just let me make it home. Please just please let me make it home. Please. I say, please, Father God. I say, you say you'll never put no more on me that I can bear. You said, I'm throwing back all the promises that God mentioned to me. These are promises that God told me that He'll fulfill as long as I walk by faith and not by sight, and He'll order my steps. And I believe and trust in His word every time when He said that to me. I just trusted His word, you know? So I'm not a scripture person. I'm more of a worship person. So my faith is very strong in worshiping than actual scripture. So I cut through, I had to sit down on the like what they call those grounds, the edge borders. I don't know what you call it, but the little ground that look like a concrete and you can sit on or put your feet on it, take a break or whatever. I had I went on and sat down because I couldn't stand no more. I was feeling so lightheaded and dizzy a little bit because it seemed like when I walk, I'm walking off balance. Like my walk now is being off balance a lot lately. Ever since it got, I guess, worse. It was getting to its worst part with me now. So I sat there, I was breathing. I was just catching my breath, just breathing, like doing it. Whew. I'm like, okay, Father God, I'm right here by the house. I'm just trying to catch my breath. And I think I was on the phone with my big cousin, Wanda. And I was letting her know the situation, what was going on. And I think she stayed on with me until I made it home. And I was just breathing. And I was just breathing, trying to catch my breath. So what I did were I cut through the apartment complex. And again, whew, catching my breaths as I'm walking home, but I made it home. So as I made it home, I took my shower, and all of a sudden, my head just started hurting so bad. Oh my gosh, the number was a 10. It was a 10 back to back. 10, 10. When I say I couldn't tolerate that 10, I said, baby, it's time for me to go to the ER. I already had my bag packed. Did I have a backpack yet? Or no? I think I had a pre-backpack. Yeah, I did have a backpack. I had a pre-bag. No, when I head to the hospital, I did have a backpack. I had a backpack because I said just in case they keep me. I wasn't sure. It wasn't a big bag. It was just some small little stuff. So they end up keeping me. I go to the hospital. I go to the ER. I let them know the situation. Oh, my snitching husband. Oh, his snitching ass. He just had the snitch. So he snitched on me. He told all the complications I was having during the years we've been together, the years that the doctors was saying what was going on with me, and he just told everything. So they went on and did a lot of blood tests, a lot of MRIs. They did a lot of SCAT cans. They did all those things that we talk about when they trying to determine a lot of blood work. I had lots of blood work. And it was so bad to the fact that when I got admitted and they took my blood was at a 6.2. Yeah, 6.2. My iron and my blood both had dropped. And they told me I came in right in time. They said that I could have had a mild heart attack or a stroke if I didn't come in. So that wasn't nothing but God. A lot of people got to understand and realize the signs and signal that God provides to you for you to get help, for you to be seen. Whatever the case is, it's a purpose why God give those visual signs to you. So when they admitted me, okay, me thinking, guys, nothing serious. I'm thinking they just probably keeping me to see how I'm gonna do with my breathing. I'm thinking it's based off my breathing because that was to me in my head. I'm like, okay, what's going on in my head for me to get a 10? I'm thinking like, now I'm gonna start getting migraines. That don't sound normal for me. So I'm thinking it's my head and everything. It wasn't my head, and that's what I thought. Everything I thought was the wrong thoughts, and that's how we all do. We think is this, and come to find out it's something totally different. So when they took all my blood work and everything, they had a room waiting for me. I was at one hospital that wasn't all the way complete, which was Winter Garden. They was not. They didn't have certain equipment that they stated that I needed for myself. So they transported me over to Apaka Hospital, which is Advent Health Hospital. Don't get me wrong, I love Advent Health Hospital. I'm not gonna lie. And it seemed like it's more of a Christian type hospital. So I kind of really do endure that hospital. That's a hospital that God really put me at. So I'm gonna keep it like that. But when I went to the second hospital, I already had a room there waiting for me. They put me in a room. The room was like, our goal is to keep you. I wish I brought it in here to keep you comfortable. What did it say? Did it say? It's a comfortable prayers and healing, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I know prayer was on there and comfortable, but it was a third one I can't remember. And when I looked on there, I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the room." So okay, again, I'm thinking it's nothing. It's a private room. I was in my own room privately. So I'm still thinking there's nothing wrong, guys. Okay, I'm still in that thinking process. Now here comes the big fish. The next day, they was still having me to take blood. Do they had to redo another scat can? Scat? Why act like I can't talk today, y'all? Is that radiation doing it to me? I think it is. I had to do another scat can, uh, another scan. I'm shaking my head, guys, because I'm still saying the same thing that's wrong. I had to do another scan. I had to do another MRI. I had to do all that stuff that they had to do. So this time they did an actual like biopsy to see why I'm having these symptoms still and why my blood and iron is steady constantly dropping. Now keep in mind, I'm having real bad issues with like it was on my nerves, on my back, in the middle of your spine, you know where your spine at. This is where I'm having bad pain and where I could not sleep at and could not be comfortable at. So when they took out the biopsy, and that's weird because when they took that biopsy off that on that one little part, I didn't feel that pain in my back like that no more. Like literally, I didn't feel it in my back right there no more. So they took the biopsy, right? When they took the biopsy, what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm going to get the paper. So one second, I'm gonna let you listen to some music so I can come back with the biopsy. One moment. All right, guys, I'm back. Thank you for holding again. So when they did the biopsy, they label it as a right chest wall mass, and they called it Demoz fibromatosis, right? Then they got all these big words. Of course, I'm not going to go through the big word situation again. And then it said that when they took the biopsy out, I didn't feel what I was feeling when I was, when I first went in to complain about it. So I was like, oh my gosh. And we know Demoz fibromatosis is non-cancerous. But that's where that part was. I think that was non-cancerous, where they had took that part out because the reason why, and I'm gonna go back in detail with this to tell y'all why I said that. But when they took that out, I couldn't feel it paining in the middle no more, but I still felt all the pressure and pain on my right side underneath the fatty tissue on our back. So I kept feeling all of that area. Like I just kept feeling that area. It was just so uncomfortable. So I was, like I said, I was treated very well. Like I said, I give the most props to Sebastian De La Fuente, the surgeon in the Orlando Avon Health Hospital, and his staff and his partners. So now, when that had happened, I had surgery done July the 2nd. So now they took the tumor out. Delafonte, what he had told me, and I got that semi report. He said that he took out the tumor. They had to go deep because they said it was deep in my muscles. They had to firmly scrape it because if they did anything, they can damage or do a vessel. What they call that? Damage a vessel or blow a vessel. Basically, kind of can damage you or kill you. And he got, I guess, probably the majority out. And it's still some in there left that he wasn't able to get because, again, it's connected to my tissues and muscles. I guess that's why I got the radiation. That's why I'm getting the radiation, because that part of my body is cancerous. The one that's right here on my clothes, where they had the drainage at, where you see the fatty tissue, but that part was cancerous. So they had to drain it out, the fluid. It was fluid in there and everything. It was building fluid around it and everything when they had took it out. And when he finally, I guess, finished that part, now he said the biopsy was the Demoz fibromatosis, right? And when he actually took it out on the 2nd of July, he said the right lower back mass had a superficial fibromatosis, Demoz type, which was 9.5 centimeters in size, a tumor that involves exterior and posterior surfaces and 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock margins. And it's a clinical history is localized swelling mass and lump. So, and then also right here, it says sections show an ill-defined tan pink fibroric mass that measures 9.5 centimeters and extends to multiply ink margins. So when he took that out, he already told me he took out as much as he can, majority of it all out. That's what he had told me, Sebastian. Majority of it all out. And I had to go to a radiation that he said that he gonna just send me somebody that he feel that he can kind of trust. So he sent me to someone that he think he can trust with my radiation. So the radiation plan that he set me up was 30 days straight. So I go every day to this radiation. I see a lot of doctors, a lot. I got like so many surgeons set up. I got an OBGY, OBGYN surgeon. He waiting till my treatment is over with so I can get the I told him I'm not getting no hysterectomy. I don't care what none of them say. I feel like it's not time for me to get no hysterectomy yet. But I'm gonna get the other one with the L. What was it? LYMO, I think. That's the one I'm gonna have him to do for the surgery on that. Then I'm getting the breast, done and all that. So whatever God got planned, He's gonna try to remove and get rid of before it got worse. I probably wouldn't have that much longer to still be on Earth. Probably a couple more years. Who knows? If I never went in and got treated, probably would have just been my time. June 12th. If I didn't do anything on June 12th, maybe the next day, sometime in June, probably would have been my last. So I'm grateful for every moment that God had me here. Like right now, my back is really itching, burning, and hurting. So, guys, I'm gonna stop it from here on this conversation because this topic is only about different type of cancers, and then I'm gonna jump on over. I know I'm supposed to talk about cannabis because that's going to be my topic every day. That's going to be a conversation every day, guys. And I want to let you know, when you join in on that, I tell you about that one on cannabis. But I just want to tell you about the stages of sarcoma. If you have sarcoma, you do have a stage 1 that is divided into stages, with A1, which means smaller than 5 centimeters, and 1B means 5 centimeters. Stage 2 means smaller than 5 centimeters, and 2B means larger than 5 centimeters for soft tissue sarcomas of the head, neck, and external arms and legs, and the gastro area. Stage 3, so just so you know, go to 4 stages, just like most of the other cancers. Then stage 3 means that it is divided into 3A, or 3B in size of the tumor and the lymph node. And stage 4, of course, they're going to say there's nothing else they can do because now it's all over the body. Then you got your bones. So you do have those 1 through 4 stages with sarcoma. But for leiomyosarcoma, this is the only one that I have seen so far that does not have an actual stage, like one, two, three. It's still a stage. It's just not named as a stage. So it have only three, means localized, which they said, which he told me today. I asked him, I said, so since I know it don't have a stage, what is it? Is it localized? What the regional? What he said is localized, which is good on my behalf because I mean I caught it early, which that's what I wanted. If I had anything, I wanted to catch it early. So localized means if the tumor was caught early and didn't have a chance to spread, there's a 63% survival rate. That's good for me on that because not only that, what other cancers in my body, if they all be caught early, I'd be great, even though I will still be my cancer from what he told me is long-term care. So it will be long-term care. And I guess I have another choice with that, because it's long term care. Because it's a recurring growing back tumor that I have. It always gonna grow back. So that means if they remove it, it's gonna grow right back, and it might grow back faster than it did at first. So that's why I got ongoing like long term treatment. And then it goes to regional. So if it's regional, that means that the tumor was able to spread some, but didn't get far. That means the patients have 36% chance of surviving. Now, when it becomes distance with this type of cancer, that means it did spread in other parts of the body. That means the survival rate would drop to 14%. And I'm gonna post it in here. So if you ever hear anybody say LMS, that's the one that I'm talking about, that type of cancer. So let me give you the survival rates here, and now it's all in there. So guys, I'm sorry for the long air. As far as being on the air for a very, very long time. I mean, I guess that's the whole point, right? But I just wanted to pretty much go over some things and talk about certain different topics, how treatment is helping people, what treatments are you taking, what type of cancer do you have, what recommendations or educational information or have. So that's the main purpose of to be educated and to know different type of cancers. But like I said, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to talk about different topics because I don't really want to keep elaborating on what I have. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I get emotional with it. It's just the fact that I know what I have, and now I'm getting all this other new information, like all this other stuff. I guess that's trying to come out and grow. Probably been there for a while, but it took something to move out the way for it to come out, which is a good thing on my behalf because whatever God trying to get rid of is gonna be gone. I'm hoping that's the positivity in my mind that I'm thinking about. But God is good. Praise God in advance, guys. Don't just praise Him when you and your family struggling and going through something. Always turn to God during your worldly life. We all here for a purpose. We are going to sin. And I'm gonna talk about, like I said, church on that too. So you're gonna see different topics that I'm gonna talk about and elaborate on. But I just want to say, stay strong out there. Be positive as much as you can. My cancer patients, my cancer buddies. I'm gonna call you my cancer buddies because we buddies. We all family. So just stay positive as much as you can. Try to be engaged with some good people in your life, so you can try to fight this. Because you're not gonna be able to fight this alone. I'm not even able to fight this alone, and I'm a strong survivor. But like I said before, I get weak. I get weak too. And that's the only problem. That's the only problem. Because now I don't know how to cope with this. And our children don't know how to cope with it either. My husband definitely don't know how to cope with it. And I understand because it'll put him in a big state, a big mind state, with his past, with his loved ones. So I can kind of relate or understand his situation too, because what husband will want to know that his wife is in a dying stage right now, like a dying situation. To know that she got cancer, to know like that, like, okay, I know she got cancer. I know I'm reading this. Right here, it sounds like it's good, but then what if you come back and get something else that's different? So now you wasn't thinking about all this, and you try not to think about it because you don't want your wife to think about it, because you don't want to see her get emotional. She get emotional, you're gonna get emotional. So there's a lot of different mixed emotions there. Then I had talked to our sons yesterday, and he was like, "Mom, I mean," he said, "Mom, this is an emotional situation right now. I mean, who wanna really talk about their mom being sick?" And like I told him, that's the purpose. The purpose is for us to try to cope together. How we gonna know how to cope if we're not doing it together? Yeah, we gonna cry. We gonna do all of it. That's why we're doing it together. But I understand, it's still sinking in their minds, and and now I'm worried about them because I feel like they all over the place, like they lost. And I think that's what's gonna scare me the most, knowing that my husband and kids, mom, grandmama, people that know me, people who's close to me, gonna feel a little lost there because they don't have that goofy Nicole around. They don't have that silly person, that one that's gonna always be supportive, the one that's gonna always be there to let you know, hey, I'm team encouragement support. It's hard to find a good soldier out there. And I'm just gonna tell everybody, stay strong as much as you can. Yeah, this is a hard situation. Like I said, I'm gonna have my moments, my days where I'm gonna be up and down. Maybe some days I don't want to be bothered. But I'm quick to jump on this. And you're right. And the reason why I jump on this is due to the fact because it kind of helped me get out of my mode of feeling the way that I feel, and I can't help it. I just can't help it, not right now, because right now I'm still trying to balance this new disease that I have. And like I said, I'm going to look at it as a blessing versus a curse. And the reason why I'm describing it as a blessing, because sometimes you got to look at things and counter all joy for them. My death day could have been the day I went in the hospital. And that's why I call it my blessing. Despite of the prognosis that I received from it, but I was blessed enough to make it there. And that's what I'm saying right now, that you got to look at things as a blessing versus a curse. Stop going around where everybody time I'm not going to claim that that's the devil work. No, it's not. You God wants you to pretty much obey, and not only just obey, he wants you to just kind of like not be ashamed. And a lot of people are ashamed. And I know a lot of cancer buddies are ashamed. Having cancer could pretty much make you feel shameful. It'll start making you feel like your appearance is not the same. You'll start feeling unbeautified. You'll start feeling all the ugliness due to the fact that you know what you got to go through to make it. You got to go through this just to be looking in certain type. You got to have people to look at you, because now your hair is gone, and your eyebrows ain't even dark anymore. So you gonna get a lot of different looks, even like now by me going through radiation, as I read on radiation, because I got the high beam. They got the external high beam on me. They just let you know what that tell you. That mean that cancer was very aggressive in me, right? So since I got the external high beam that's in me, it said that my hair texture and all that stuff won't look the same. And now I'm worried, like, oh my gosh, what kind of texture I'm gonna have? So I'm questioning myself. Well, what texture will that be? Like, sure, is that gonna be thin? to where it looked like I barely have hair on my head, or like what is it? So I'm over here trying to be goof about the whole situation versus from crying on the situation. So that's the only reason, though. That's the only reason, you know. But no, it'll all work out. Counter all joy, everybody, and stay positive. Stay positive. Thanks for keeping me encouraged. My family, friends, a lot of social media's fans and friends that's not even my friend. Thank you for keeping me positive and energetic. You know, um, I need that. I have my mom, my cousin just called me, and I don't know, my mom called me, my husband. Well, my husband, he gonna always call me. He's my first number one fan besides our kids. So I just wanted to share my journey, my story about my cancer situation. And right now, I say go get your shirts. As I mentioned before, those shirts are going to fundraisers. So be a help to support a family in need. These bills with this medical on cancer, guys, I really did not expect. Whew, if it wasn't for the insurance, you gotta really have some insurance or have some type of money to kind of deal with this type of stuff. Just think about a person who can't get insurance, don't have insurance, going through this, going through that, no help, no nothing. It's really hard out here, guys, for people that's in that situation because, for one, they don't even know where to go at for the help. For two, depending on if you do get the help, you don't know how much of a help it's going to be to you because, especially when you're the type of person used to making your own money, making your own moves, and now you gotta pretty much live your life based off somebody else moves and they vision and the way how they want to see things, when it comes to you. And I think that's the part where I'm gonna struggle with because I'm so used to doing my own way, my own things. And when I do it, I know it's good. I know it's take care. I know how to, let me say this. I like to handle business. And when I handle business, I'm thorough with my business handling. And for me to have somebody else to handle my business, that's really gonna mess with me a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna really affect me a lot. I'm gonna try not to let it affect me, but if y'all ever see me have like weird looks on my face and stuff like that, it's pretty much what I'm saying in my podcast. Now, now check this out. I'm gonna really show this bill. I'm not ashamed to show this bill. This bill is what I'm showing you exactly what cancer patients have to go through. Now think of a family who take care of their bills and handle everything and never have they so prideful. Ego is so up in the air, but they so prideful. And now they gotta lean on help. I'm one of them people. My husband is like that too. I think we got the kids like that too. So the room in nursing care was $16,472. The pharmacy service was $3,695.85. The laboratory services was $13,680. The CT scan imaging was $19,470. The blood and blood products, because I didn't mention that. When I was in the hospital admitted that same day on the 12th, because I got admitted on the 12th. And I did say the 14th, didn't I, guys? I'm sorry, guys. It was the 12th. I was in the hospital on the 14th. So the incident happened on the 12th. The same day I was in the hospital, they had to give me 3 blood transfusions and 3 urine infusions. So I had to get blood. So it was $6,978. Emergency center was $6,405. Radiology service was $2,293. The MRI services was $5,064. Operating room service was $6,662. Anesthesia service is $329. And all that came up to $81,048.85. Mm-mm-mm. You tell me God ain't good. Because I'm finna tell you how God good. My insurance paid majority of the bill. They paid $78,605.28. They say my balance that I owe is $2,443.57. That's all I had to pay out of pocket for now and set up arrangements. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys because a lot of people don't understand what you have to go through to stay healthy and try to keep your health and stay alive. It's really hard out here when you trying to balance your life itself and you barely got the help that you need out here to even make it. COVID had did a big toll on everybody, income wise, household wise. Yeah, COVID did that. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I just wanted to say, guys, stay safe, stay strong. If you don't do nothing else, stay strong. Enjoy life. Enjoy every bit that you have on this earth. Enjoy. So it's time for cannabis. It's time for cannabis time for me. I'm gonna talk about cannabis tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to talk about it today. I'm gonna start probably trying to do that early in the day, talk about cannabis, and then talk about whatever topic's gonna be for today. I think I haven't set up any more podcasts. I had missed a few because my husband was sick, so I couldn't do the one from yesterday. But today, I hope y'all enjoy this. Tune in to TRUU. Guys, they created a 501 for me, a fundraising foundation, a funding foundation for me. Like if something ever happened, like if I ever pass away, that foundation I want to carry on forever for other struggling families like me, to whereas that those funds can help the families like myself. I want to give back to the ones who helped this family, which is me. So I want to say thanks for tuning in to your girl, Miss Roberts with TRUU. Y'all stay safe and enjoy. And thanks for tuning in.